A trigger is something that people talk a lot about, and some triggers are obvious. You know that if you were deployed and there was gasoline around where something awful happened, the smell of gasoline is going to trigger you. The problem, though, is I always say, like, to go back to this, your part of your human brain and then your primitive brain. What happens in essence is that when a trauma happens, two things happen simultaneously. Your human brain is trying to stay in control, trying to figure out how to survive, trying to help others, depending on the situation. You have kids or loved ones, comrades, you need to help. They're busy. The middle brain, unbeknownst to the human brain, is doing something as well. It's taking sight, sound, smells, taste, touch, anything, a body position, a fleeting thought, and it's making connections with that. Some people know about, they call, with Pavlov, they have Pavlov's dog. You may have heard about classical conditioning. That's what it is. You're making a condition, but it's very intense, so it's one-time training. You make basically a connection between a stimulus, anything, and that event. So once you're not in that situation anymore, you can be walking along and you see a color that happens to be the same color as something that was there. There was a blue color, someone's t-shirt. You see that, and instantaneously, this happens really, really fast, that color goes in your eye, to the back of your brain, to your optic area, and then 12 milliseconds later, you get triggered. It takes about 30 milliseconds for the human brain to become aware of anything. So you're always about 18 milliseconds too slow. So that you're already startled, you're already scared, and so what happens? You're walking along, all of a sudden you feel scared and threatened. So what people normally do is they look in their environment and they say, gee, what just startled me? If there was a car backfired, you say, oh, okay, that's what happened. I know why I'm scared, or somebody gave you a hug or something, right? That's why you're scared. But when you feel threatened and you can't identify anything in your environment that's making you feel threatened, because the color blue, of course, is not threatening, people become more scared. Something bad's gonna happen to me. I don't know what it is. This is really, really bad. I gotta get out of here. So what happens is that people go to Walmart and then all of a sudden become very scared. Or they're in a crowd and they feel very scared or angry. And so they leave. They don't know why they felt scared. They know it was awful. And so they don't go back. Because we make an association between our environment and the cause. That's just how our brain works. Even if it's not accurate. It turns out the cause was us, our brain, in seeing a trigger. Nobody told you that that's what's happening. Without that knowledge, you do the best you can, which is assume it must have been something about that place, like Walmart or a crowd, that made us scared. And so we don't go back. And so we start avoiding more and more things because we feel unsafe in more and more situations. Become more and more isolated, and that's what compounds the problem.